Okay, we're back after that little slip up. I've remapped those keys to F5 and F9 instead of F4 and F5. That seems to be a little more standard, at least for me, F5 for saving. Also, I've turned off the tutorial pop-ups, so we shouldn't be getting so many of those, even though they were lessening now that we've completed the tutorial. This is Tanis. Let's take a look around, shall we? So this looks like our pod. This is how we got down to the planet. And wait a minute, he said we'd been there for a couple of weeks, so that's been sitting there for a while, or at least a couple of days. Anyway, it takes them a while to clean up, doesn't it? So just take a peek what's down here. This is the bar, I believe. Cantina entrance, yes. So that should appear on our map now that I've seen the door. As I recall, let's see. Emporium. Do I have to click? Yeah, there we go. Okay, 2 apartments, 2 Upper City Cantina, Equipment Emporium. Oh, and while we're in there, see this one? Return to hideout. That's a quick way of healing yourself. It teleports you to the hideout, and then when you're in the hideout, it says return to something, wherever you were. And let's go in here. This is a store.
Hello there. I haven't seen you in my shop before. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kebla Yurt. Welcome to the Equipment Emporium. You looking to buy some supplies? My shop's the largest one in all of Upper Terrace. Best selection on the planet. Whatever you need, I've got. Well, mostly.
Mostly? What do you mean by that?
The Sith confiscated all my heavy weapons, and they impounded all my ships and swoop bikes. But I've still got a real nice selection, if you're interested.
Terrace. I thought it was Tanis. Okay, fair enough, Terrace. Let me see what you got for sale.
Just so you know, the prices on the items are final. No bargaining here. This isn't a swap meet, okay? I only deal in top-notch stuff.
Fair enough. And actually, I'm going to buy this item. Yes, a little foresight here. I know I am going to need this item for a quest that's coming up. So while I'm here, I may as well grab it. And yeah, she's got quite a lot of nice stuff. 900 for the suit, and the way the armor works here is the heavy armor affects your dexterity bonus, and to see what your dexterity bonus is, you have to go and look at your own stats. But like mine is, I think, +3 at the moment. It'll soon be above +4. So I wouldn't want to be wearing any of this heavy armor. It would limit my dexterity, and of course as a thief, not the greatest idea. So even though this is light armor, it's light battle armor, and look, my max dexterity bonus would go down already at this early point. So that's good enough for now. Let's take a look at our inventory actually and see if we should be wearing anything better. This clearly, combat suit, max dexterity bonus +5. This early in the game, that's probably just fine for me. It's actually pretty good for Carth as well. We have a blaster rifle. Let's see what sort of stats. I'm 1 to 6 +6, 1 to 8 +5. I think I'll stick with blasters for now and possibly through the whole game. Depends how I decide to allocate my skills. Ion Blaster, much less damage to humans, but the potential of much greater damage to droids. And I'll show you how we're going to deal with that. Let's just cancel out of here. We'll stick with just the regular old blaster for now, for me. And just check. We don't have any shields. We haven't picked up anything else yet. Let's go over to Carth. And he has his own blaster, which has a few bonuses, and then just a regular blaster. What I think I'll do is I'll change this to the Ion Blaster. He does better with 2 weapons, I don't. So he's +6 and +4. I wouldn't have anywhere near that. So we'll give him an ion blaster. It means he does slightly less damage to people again, but since he's using 2 weapons at once, when we are fighting droids, we get a little benefit from that. So, and I'll just check everything else here. We don't have any armor to give him at the moment. And he got injured somewhere along the line.
Sure.
Not sure where that happened. And I think there are a few minor quests up here, so let's just do a lap. Something seems to be bothering Carth. Maybe you should speak to him and see if you can get him to open up about it. These opportunities, I think... No, I don't remember. I seem to remember they had something to do with personal quests for each character, so you can get bonus quests. I don't think there's romance options in this game. I'm still not sure, though. So let's speak to Carth.
Yes, what's on your mind?
And these can be a little difficult. You can eventually get people down the right path, but these aren't that clear-cut which options you should choose. You can annoy the people fairly easily and that sort of thing. Let's see how we do, though. I'd like to know some more about you, Carth. Do you know anything about this place? So let's try this. That might be a little soon, but...
Me? Well, I've been a star pilot for the Republic for years. Seen more than my share of wars. I fought in the Mandalorian Wars before all this started. But with all that, I've never experienced anything like the slaughter these Sith animals can unleash. Not even the Mandalorians were that senseless. My homeworld was one of the first planets to fall to Malak's fleet. The Sith bombed it into submission, and there wasn't a damn thing our Republic forces could do to stop them.
You're talking like it's your fault. Like you failed somehow. Or I could go, I'm sorry, Carth, this must be very painful for you. And then, of course, this is pretty obvious. Calm down, I was just asking, asshole. So, you know, these aren't clear-cut. Yeah, this is probably overstepping my bounds if I was talking to some stranger, so I'm going to go with this one.
I'm just a soldier. I go where the fleet admirals tell me to. I follow my orders and I do my duty. It's just... Doesn't seem right that doing that means I failed them. I didn't.
Them? Do you mean the people of your homeworld? I'm sorry, Carth, I didn't mean to upset you. Hey, why are you getting so mad at me? It's not like this was all my fault. Well, we'll go with the safe one. This seems pretty safe this early in the game.
No, I know. Don't worry about it. I must not be making much sense. You probably mean well with your questions. I'm just not accustomed to talking about my past very much. At all, actually. I'm more used to taking action, keeping my mind focused on the business at hand. So let's just do that. If you have more questions, ask them later.
Okay, well, that was a pretty safe approach, but it seemed to have worked. We didn't make him mad for no reason, at least. Let's see what we have over here.
I see from your appearance that you are an off-worlder. Still, you're welcome here. I'll not have it said that Zelka Foreign refused to help somebody just because they weren't a citizen of Taris. Do you require healing or medical supplies? I can treat almost any injury or ailment right here at the medical facility. Except the rat ghoul disease, of course.
Rat ghoul disease? What's that?
The terrible affliction has plagued Taris for many generations. It is spread by the rat ghouls, horrible monsters that live in the Undercity below Taris's great skyscrapers. Prolonged exposure to the Undercity breeds the disease, and those infected will eventually mutate into rat ghouls themselves, becoming mindless beasts that feed on the flesh of others.
Is there no cure?
There is no antidote for the disease, though I heard the Republic scientists at the military base here on Taris were close to perfecting a cure. Then the Sith arrived. They overran the military base, and now they refuse to allow anyone access to the laboratories inside. The Sith are keeping all the serum for the patrols they send into the Undercity. If I could just get my hands on a sample of that serum, the rat ghoul disease could be wiped from the face of Taris forever. But I don't see how that's going to happen.
Maybe I could find a way to get my hands on that serum for you.
I don't see how anyone could get their hands on that serum. The military base is crawling with Sith guards. Breaking in there would be a suicide mission. I suppose the Sith patrols in the Undercity might have a sample of the serum on them, if they hadn't already used it because of a rat ghoul infection. But I doubt a patrol would just hand the serum over, and nobody is stupid enough to attack one of the Sith patrols, even in the Undercity.
Don't worry, Zelka. I'll get that serum for you.
Please, don't say that. If the Sith hear you, they might think I'm suggesting you start attacking their patrols. They could shut me down. I only mentioned the serum because you asked. I don't actually expect anyone to get me the serum. Now, is there anything else I can do for you?
I want to ask you some questions.
I am quite busy maintaining the facility, but I suppose I could spare a bit of time to answer some questions. What would you like to know?
Okay, we know about that. How do you feel about the Sith? I think we all know the answer to that. I just want some general information this might be helpful. Do you know anything about the Republic escape pods that crashed in the Undercity?
Republic escape pods? No. Why would you ask me that? I don't know. Those pods crashed in the Undercity. I'm not involved in any way.
If you know something, you better tell me, unless you'd rather talk to the Sith. No, that seems pretty mean. You seem awfully defensive about this.
I'm not defensive. I just don't like being accused of knowing something about those Republic pods. This is as bad as an interrogation by the Sith.
Don't worry, I'm not with the Sith. I won't betray your secret if you tell me.
Well, you don't look like you're with the Sith. I guess I can tell you my secret. Or rather, I can show you. Since the space battle overhead, people have been secretly bringing in these Republic soldiers who crash-landed on the planet. I had to take them in. What choice did I have? Their injuries are terrible. Most won't survive. But at least I can make their last days more comfortable. And at least here, they're hidden away from the Sith.
Well, for that you have my thanks. It's good to know that at least some of these men ended up in compassionate hands.
I hate to imagine what the Sith would do if they discovered these soldiers here. But since their initial questioning, the Sith have not returned, so it may be my fears are unfounded.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I'm afraid there's nothing more anyone can do for these soldiers. Now, if you'll excuse me, I should return to the front in case anyone comes in needing medical attention.
Okay, so this is the first time we've gained some light side points. And in this game, there really are two plot paths. If I decide to go dark side, even my character appearance changes. I might be misquoting that. I know in some of these games the guy's appearance doesn't change, but I'm pretty sure it does. So I'm obviously heading down the light side path. It affects my choices in discussions. It affects the plot somewhat. It affects the quality of the force powers that I get. Some of them are dark side powers, some are light side powers, and I get a bonus if I use light side powers, that sort of thing. Anyway, let's move on.
Psst, you there. Wait a minute. I need to talk to you about the rat ghoul serum. I've got an offer for you might want to hear.
An offer? What are you talking about?
Zelka isn't the only one who wants to get his hands on the rat ghoul serum. Davik Kang will pay you 10 times what Zelka can if you can get the cure.
Davik Kang? Who's that?
Oh, come on. Everybody knows who Davik Kang is. He's the big boss around here. Gambling, smuggling, extortion. He's got a piece of all the action on Taris.
Do you mean he's a crime lord?
I prefer to think of him as a role model. He started with nothing, and now he's got it all. Credits, power, women. It's the Teresian dream, right?
Why does Davik want the cure so badly?
Davik's interested in anything that can turn a profit. He could make a fortune selling the serum to anyone infected with the disease. Not like Zelka, who'll practically give it away.